What's up guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video I'm gonna show you how you can enable signed modules, signed kernel modules on Gentoo. This thing is for the non-binary kernel, the kernel that is compiled from source, which is supposed to be kind of the default method. If you did not change, or if you decided to follow the wiki or the handbook from the beginning till the end, step by step, you're supposed to have the source kernel on your computer. Alright, so the first thing is to log in as root, and then go to the directory /usr like this, cd usr src linux. I'm there already. You just run this command, you'll be there, and then you run the command make menu config. You can read the wiki. It's very important for you to know why you need to have the signed kernel modules support on your kernel. It's very important. Such thing is enabled by default on many other distributions, such as Red Hat based distributions, Arch Linux, Ubuntu, because it's important. Alright, so here you go to this thing, enable loadable module support, enter, and then you can go to module signature verification. You enable it. You can only enable it as a part of the kernel, you cannot enable it as a module itself. And then you choose require modules to be validly signed, that one, and then automatically sign all modules, and then you save it, and then you exit, and then you run the command for compiling the kernel. For me it's like this. For you, you decide depending on the number of the threads that you want to use. If you have 4 threads on your computer, you cannot specify more than 4, as I know. Alright, we keep it compiling and then we continue. Alright, our kernel modules have been signed, so we don't need to worry about them. You see, whenever you want to install, like for example VirtualBox on let's say Arch Linux, you need to sign the modules. Maybe one day we make a video about it. Comment down or like if you want me to do such thing. Here you can see the VMware modules are signed, so later we don't need to sign them. And then now we can just create the initramfs, and then we can update our grab menu. Here I got an error, so I had to run these commands. I will show you. I ran this command at the first command, and then this command to clean and recompile from the beginning because I was facing an error, and then this one. Okay, and then I recompiled the kernel, and it is compiled correctly and successfully now. I'll come back after everything's done to test if the modules, or to go to the next step. If you want to see me generating the initramfs or initram disk, the old that was called before the initram disk, I will show you by using dracat as before, and the version. Don't forget to mount your boot partition. This one we're done with it. And then you just run the command of grab. This process, it becomes like you will do it often. You just run this command and your grab is gonna be ready. And then, depending on your kernel version, you run one of these commands to generate the keys. Alright, so we run this command. I guess we don't need to run it as root as it's written there. Okay, so we need to be in, then we run the command again. Yes, I found how to run this command. In my case, my kernel is higher than 4.3.3 or .3.3. So you need to, first of all, you need to go to this directory /usr/src/linux/certs, and then you just run the command simply and it's gonna be totally fine. I guess the computer is now ready to restart, as I guess, so we can check if our configuration is correct or not. Alright, our system is rebooted. We can check if we were able to sign the modules and accept only signed modules. I guess I get enough information about it. Like this one also, if you run this command, it tells you about such thing. And here they say if you get this error, could not insert VBox DRV key was rejected by service, it means that it accepts only the signed modules. You can run this command to check the keys. So I'm getting key was rejected by service. Actually, the kernel modules are all signed correctly and they're fine. The problem was not configuring this thing. The problem that made me see that error, which is keys was rejected or key is rejected by service. I don't have it here. I cleared the terminal, the emulator. It's because of this thing. You go to, as root of course, you go to /usr/src/linux, and then you go to the kernel configuration, not make config, but make menu config. Yes, here, I thought this thing you don't need to worry about it. This one, which says which hash algorithm should modules be signed with. I thought that all you have to do is to enable these things here, these three parameters in your kernel, and then you're good to go. But actually you're supposed also to change the signing. Yeah, this one. You need to select this one, sign modules with SHA 512. After you select it, you save in your config, and then you exit. For me, there is no change because I did this and I solved my error that you've seen with me. You exit totally. You recompile your kernel totally, like this. You run this command, and then you rebuild your modules by running this command, and then you generate the init runfs. In my case, I updated also the kernel at the same time, so I found that I need to change this thing with the previous kernel, which was .31. As you can see, if you focus it very well with me, I wasn't able, like, I didn't change this thing. That's why it didn't accept the signature, because the signature was, as it says here, 512 SHA 512. You have two options, and the best one is to, as I guess, I'm not sure, maybe the second option is not correct. The first option is to configure this in the kernel like this, or the second option is to change this one to the one that you have chosen in your kernel or you have in your kernel. By default, it's SHA1, which is old and it's deprecated in some, I don't know if it's old, but it's deprecated in some distributions which are based on Debian, based on Red Hat. So you generate your init runfs again, and then you also generate the menu of your grab. You reboot, just like me, and then you will get your kernel modules signed already. For me, you can see that they are already now. For example, for VirtualBox, you can see now that they are already loaded, because the signature is accepted by the kernel. At the beginning, the signature was not accepted by the kernel. We can run modprobe vbox drv. We can run modprobe -r to stop it. It doesn't want to stop, but it works already. So that was the way I solved it, or I managed to solve that issue. If you enable this thing in your kernel, you can expect yourself to have extra steps. Every time you upgrade your kernel, you will have extra steps. If you want me to make a full video about upgrading the kernel with module signature support, or signed kernel module support, just comment down below. However, you need to, yes, this requires an extra video. We can talk about it in a future video. But this was the way you sign you enable the module signature, and you sign also your kernel modules. You need to have this file, which is here in this path, and then you run one of these two commands depending on your kernel version, and then you're good to go. Okay, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. See you.